Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, and perhaps even good evening. Thank you so much for dropping by and joining me for another exciting, relatively spontaneous session of the 3D Shenanigans, where we're going to build another title sequence. Wonderful to see you, Nancy's. You've made it. That's amazing. Mr. Leo is here, and Mr. Brian is here, and Miss Julia is watching, and anyone else who's out there leaving a comment, watching the VOD, you're all welcome. Thank you so much for dropping by. I'm thinking we're going to go and start with something we figured out yesterday, last Monday, and just spend some time bringing more mocap animations over into iClone, chopping them up, making them loopable, and then transferring them to Unreal Engine, and then fleshing out the exterior bit a little bit. That's the plan for today. Claire, how you doing? Welcome, good to see you. Let's bring out a little bit of music first, if I remember which tab that's on. I had a really interesting issue that sometimes happens with my setup. I really don't know why, but my main monitor sometimes isn't detected by Windows, and it's so cool. I just have this monitor, but not the one I actually want to work on, and then another one on the right-hand side next to me. And I was thinking, how does that happen? So yes, thankfully I managed to make it work. So I think we did all the walks 7 last time, and thank you so much for your help, Brian. I really appreciate that we could work this out. We did walks 7, 8E, and I did quite a few other walks. So let's get right back into it. I think this was it. Walks V1. I think they're all in there. I think. Let's hope. And let's hope I can remember that as well. Yes, walks V7, we did that last time. Let's do walks V6 then now. And just have a look. What's what? Navigation is, of course, totally different in Rokoko Studio than it is in other applications. Why would it be different? Why would it be? Oh yeah, so this one's already, I think I may have used this one as a demo clip. So it's already got the correct bit clipped up. So we've got this one, this would be A, this one we leave out, then we have another one B, and then we have C. Perfect. We'll do these, and then we'll do some idles. So yeah, let's do these 3. So those are only 3 here. I'll have to manually rename them because I haven't found a way to work out how to convince Rokoko Studio to give me a particular name here. So I'll go and rename these little snippets here. Let's say if we make this one here walks V6, then I can go and just bring that snippet into there. How have you been? How has your weekend been treating you so far? I'll just manually rename this. So that's where that goes. Export clip, and that'll come up with literally just one. Walks V6 iClone is going to be called, I think. Working on it. You'll trade a heat wave for snow or rain. Ah, okay. There, so we'll call this one, instead of iClone, we're going to call this one A. And then I'll just export the other ones, and we'll follow that pattern. So let's say this one here will start here. Somewheres, and we end it sort of here. Do all the tidy up in iClone. There's probably a way to duplicate these and then make just rename them that way, but it's one of those things. This is Mo, is it? I didn't know that. I don't know if he actually has a name. Yeah, so this one is also then called B. There's always 50 different ways to do things in 3D, isn't there? This one then here, that one is C. So we'll start that one right here. And that we end here. see if I do anything with the alternate ones. I might bring them out as a sort of collection of animations. That's a possibility. And that would be C. Okay. Well, let's see if I can remember how we did that in iClone. I don't think we need... Oh, we need this later for the idols. I might leave it open then. I might leave it open. So how do we do that again? Do we load a character and then we apply the animation? I think that's how we do it. That is how we do it. We can use the low-res characters again, or we can just use a high-res one. Why don't we do that? Treat ourselves to the likes of... Not you guys. Treat ourselves to the likes of... We could use Kevin. I was thinking we can use the other guy. What's his name here? Aaron? That's what I did. Load Kevin and drag. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's use Kevin for this. I do like Kevin. I don't actually remember where Aaron is here. I'll see if I can search for it. Him, sorry. Aaron. Are you in somewhere in character? Aaron. Aaron, there you are. But where are you though? Who knows? Oh, he's in CC5. Well, he should be available in... I mean, he clearly is available in iClone. I just don't know which folder to look in. Because that would be tragic if he didn't, you know, if he wouldn't be with us. Let's use him. Let's go replace Kevin with Aaron. Yes, Aaron, my man, how's it going, buddy? Default, we don't need that. And we can either drag that Rokoko animation on here. Possibly, yeah. Then we pick Rokoko. T-pose is the same thing. And everything else we'll leave as is. Convert all. Fingers crossed. Here he is. Feet could look better, but I think I'm not going to worry. And all I'll adjust, just like last time, is the shoulders and probably the thumb. He can walk, he can walk, he can do it. Let's do it. Edit motion layer. Yes, I thought I'll do an extra day because it takes so long to do all this, and I do want to eventually finish that project. See if he needs anything else while we're doing that. I mean, of course, the thumbs here. Don't know why they're misaligned. And hey, interesting news. I've actually ordered the new Smart Gloves 2 that they are bringing out. I was able to get a discount there on them, and we'll see if they perform better than the Smart Gloves 1 with the coil, because coil is this thing that does this incredible, apparently incredible, perfect tracking and whatnot. Yeah, so the feet, I think the foot locks here were a little bit aggressive in this walk. I didn't really correct them, but they're a little aggressive. I can tell. The feet look a little too sucked onto the ground. I wonder if there's a way to adjust that. It's something I've never really played with in Rokoko Studio, nor do I really know how to do. I don't even know how to zoom into the timeline here, so I might just not do it because it's just so much faff, and they're all just, you know, yeah, I might just not even bother. I might just leave it all as it is. I think at that point the suit also was misaligned. I can see that one of my legs, it wasn't, it's just a little off, but it's fine. It's fine. I'll leave it as it is. Let's just do the alignment so that we can do this looping thing. So let's say that's the right foot and the left foot is up. Control B, delete this, move that over here. And towards the end, we're gonna go to here, like this. Control B, delete, and collect clip. Save it all to the library. Which was that this here? That, perhaps? Rokoko breakouts. Cool, so I might just make another subfolder here. I'll call it walks v6, and this one was then walk v6a. Oh, and something else I've forgotten, I think. Probably have forgotten that. It's taking longer because I think it saves the whole play range now, which is of course not what we want. We just want to have that little snippet there. Yes. Totally forgot about that. You'd imagine it would do it for you, but hey, no, not the case. Walks v6a, or walk v6a. Yes, replace. The overwritten file will be updated for maximum compatibility. Fine. Why is that a problem now and not in the previous version? Yes, that is exactly what I just thought. And now it's much faster, so that's really what we want. And this, the backup copy, we don't actually want at all. There, ding. Great minds think alike, Brian. Exactly right. Great minds think alike. I wonder if there's a way to retain this this alignment I've made, just as a totally for the curious. If I just do this here and drag this onto him now, will this work? So I don't have to realign it again, because that would be quite a nice little time saver. A pause is fine from the other one. This is B. I'll say convert all. That would be neat. Because if I... No, that is not how it works. That is a shame. That is a shame, isn't it? Sadly, that is not retained. So I'm looking for something that will let me basically make that alignment pose once, the offset that I need to make, and just dial that in or recall that as a preset. That'd be kind of cool. But yeah, it's I'll just have to go do this and basically do it all again, which is fine too. It's just, you know, would save me that extra bit of work. And there's definitely something wrong with the foot here, but it's a cool animation. No matter, that's fine. But I just have to do this alignment again. I think I did that for this one. I think this one is now fine, but my point is when I drag in another Rokoko animation, I have to make the same adjustment again on the second animation. Not the one that I'm looping, but the second one that I'm loading in. So I'm wondering if there's a way to maybe, you know, retain at least the adjustment that I did from the previous one. It's like, instead of doing this again, just go and apply some magic. But it's also fine if that doesn't work. It's just, knowing Reillusion, it probably does work. But the mechanism is not something anyone would intuitively happen upon. Okay, so this is the left foot down. Left foot, and yeah, then we do that. Something like that. Like a global tweak, yes. Even if it's just, yes, exactly, like a global offset. Do you know, and even if I could figure it out, maybe what might be cool is to figure out a way to bake that in to one of the presets when I load the sort of, you know, how is this character interpreted. I should be able to make something like the Rokoko for J type tweak. That would be really cool, because then I could just apply that and maybe it would have all the tweaks embedded in there. It's a possibility. Mr. Deviant, how's it going? Good to see you, buddy. Well, there we go. That's that walk. Working great. Okay, adjust it to the length of the dip dot do collect clip, because that we know is also important, even though we may have forgotten why that is. But walk V6B. He might do. We need so many walk animations. I mean, of course I can make tweaks and stuff when we're in Unreal Engine, but it would be nice if every character could have their own personality. Yeah, basically this keyframe here. Let me go and copy that. Let me see if it works, because that'd be ideal. Because if I delete it now, yeah, it's gone. If I paste it on him with the next animation on, like this guy here. Let me see if copy paste works. That'd be quite nice. Yeah, like this one here. It'd be really cool if I could make my own, you know. And that's all good, because T-pose is a T-pose. Don't we all, Deviant? Don't we all? So let me see if I go and paste that in. Okay, that sort of worked. So unless this animation needs more, it needs more, doesn't it? But in principle, it's worked. So look, the thumbs are okay. Okay, that's pretty cool. I just need to tweak the shoulders a tad more. So in principle, hey, this is cool. I think I might also bring that shoulder forward a little. Whoops, not quite like that. Maybe that's how it's supposed to be. Yeah, no, dude, buddy, what's going down? Okay, let's go and remove that completely. Start again from scratch. What's happening with that arm here? Yeah, it's still awfully close to to the body, so we'll do that. Does that work? Yeah, just about works. Oh, we do way more. Do we want to though? That arm was probably okay, but that one was a bit, it's just a bit, you know, swinging a tad too much here. And there was something so wrong with the alignment here in that take. So before every take, I did another alignment, and maybe we're not going to use that because that's just too bad. I think the alignment was so out of whack at that point. Let's not use that. Yeah, I think we have better ones. I don't think this is going to work. Okay, it's Aaron, first of all. And yes, he does look uncomfortable. Let's not use that. Let's have a look at the other ones. If we want to do walks 5 here. That one's also pre-clipped up. I don't think that's properly been exported. Yeah, so this is 1, or A rather than this B. And then this C. And then we have a, that was it. Okay, okay, perfect. All right, so this is going to be walks V5. And then we'll export that as A. Get another Ron, yeah. Aaron! A.Ron. After your meniscus injury. See, so it's one of those things, maybe we do need an animation like that. I don't know. Let's say from here to somewhere there. Oops. Wrong slider, I do apologize. Okay, so this one here, I'll go and rename that one A. And this one coming up here is B. Yes, I did. I did have issues, but there were. What's funny about them is that they're completely random. So you make one export, you try it, it works. You use the exact same file, so you don't even make another export. You try it again, it doesn't work. So it's basically, you know, depending with Wednesday times 15 divided by the current year times pi equals some number, then it works. But if it doesn't, then, you know, that's problematic. So yeah, it's one of those things. You just find other solutions. But I thought it was interesting the way they were letting us use the HD detail and bake their own normal maps. That's pretty funky. I think that's a nice idea that they've smuggled that in. Hard to say if it works. Okay, this is C. Have you tried it? I keep forgetting, Deviant. Do you have a character creator? 4 or 5? Because the cool thing, even if you don't have 5, most of the new features are also available in 4, except for the HD2. That I think is only a CC5 thing. But it's also not that big a deal. Okay, this is walks 5. Yeah! Yes, of course, in under 10 minutes, but they're cutting out the 15 minutes it actually takes for the transfer to finish. So yes. That looks much better. Let me try the pasting in again, see if I can save myself some lineup work. We should see that on the thumbs here. Paste. buddy. Does it work? Yeah, there we go. That works. Maybe that was some alignment work. I can sort of save myself then. Okay, right foot down, left foot up. Slightly trailing behind. We can live with that. And here we're gonna have to go with this already. Slightly trailing behind. Ding. Adjust. Collect clip. I never know about this collect clip thing. Does it have to be frame accurate here? Or does the play range override that? I would imagine if I do it like this, that would still be, if my head wouldn't be in the way, if that would still be cutting the clip off here, right? I really don't know. Worth checking out. Worth checking out. If it in fact works. I'm going to save it first. As a Did I not save the other one as a project? Maybe I didn't. Maybe I just saved it as an animation directly. That's possible. Maybe I did. Oh, yeah, maybe I did. I must have done. I must have done. So that's walks. Whoops. New subfolder walks v5. And this one is walk v5a. That would be the ideal workflow, right? That's what I'm thinking. This whole collect clip thing, I mean, just like an auto collect clip, that'd be good to have that feature. Just assume whatever adjustments I make, the moment I save it as an animation, I always wanted it baked down into one clip. Clearly, that's the whole point of saving an animation clip. And then if you save it as a project, yeah, by all means, leave it separated and adjustable. Oh yes, Deviant, that was probably the iClone 7 and Character Creator 2 and 3. That's possible. Hey, this I'm glad that this worked here, the pasting things in. That's pretty valuable already. Let's go with walk 5B. So that's the one I was dreaming of. Dreaming of is a little extreme, but hey. How was your week, Brian? Did you get any good work done? Hey, look at that. Right foot. That's cool. Also adjustment. See if it still works. Yes. Haha. Do you know the UE, it's actually a transfer issue. Yes, I did find that iClone to UE, right foot down, left foot back, works in principle. So with another project, it works perfectly fine. It's just that with my project, it doesn't work. And I always get this error message. So again, just acknowledge, move on, find workaround. Right foot down. Yeah, I was just glad to see that it's working in principle, so I don't have to worry about that. I don't know why my project doesn't work. I deleted the plugin, added it again, makes no difference. So I thought, yeah, fine. Walk v5b. Oh, that's interesting. I mean, that's good that it was only 1 out of 7 days, Brian. That's good. That's still a sort of 80-ish%, 75% success rate. That's 80+% success rate. That's not bad. The King Facalities touch. Too funny. I know what that's like. I know what that's like. I was gonna finish a set of animations for our project, and it took longer, so I did not get to rendering this week after all. So I'm hoping that that's going to happen next week. There were just some conceptual changes that we've made, and that takes a little bit longer. And then the stuff that I had assumed is going to be really fast was not so fast. So too funny. Here we go. Select that. Paste global offset. Does it work? It does. Look at that. Pretty neat. Oh, this can go further away. Which foot you're using? You're using the right foot. I like it. When I say you, it's actually me. I guess I prefer to start a walk with my right foot. Goody, so do that, do that. Walk V5C. And then that's that for the walks for now. And let's do a few idles so that we have them, and then we turn our attention to the Unreal Engine and export everything manually because the automation doesn't work. How likely is it that you would recommend Rokoko to friend or colleague on a scale of 0 to 10? That's one of those questions I find really hard to answer. Knowing about motion capture what I know now, would I still recommend somebody invest 6 grand into this? I'm gonna give it a 5. On a scale, or more, on a scale of 1 to 5, how satisfied are you with your most recent usage of our product? I'm going to say a 3. Is there anything you'd like to elaborate? No. I do not. Okay, here are the idles. I think I've only got 1 idle, and that is a long one. So that I might just go and export in its entirety. Is that even on the ground? Why is that not on the ground? Oh, so that can be on or off. Oh, I see. I didn't know that either. Maybe that's why my walks looked so weird, because that was switched off. I thought that was just for the markings here. I didn't know that that was actually making a difference. I might leave the whole thing as one big animation and just transfer that into Unreal Engine this way. Or I should chop it up. I should chop it up. I'll do that in iClone. Chop bits out as we need them. Let's make a new folder called idles, v1 even, just in case there's going to be others. Export. Yes, just in case you're wondering, the reason for the not giving it a 10-star rating or something, it's just because there's a lot of stuff that looks much easier in tutorials and in marketing material than it happens to be in reality. Coil Pro is one of those things I'm very ambivalent about. Rokoko Studio is much more convoluted software, has a much higher learning curve than I thought. So, oh, Florida is banning under 16s from the internet too. I was not aware of that. Interesting. I'm not surprised. Oh, it just got passed. Wow. Well, thank you for the news. I let my under 16-year-old kids know. No, I didn't know that. Interesting. Long animation, this. Maybe while it's doing that, maybe we can go and do some looping bits and pieces here. We start with the 5s here, 5A, and then do the 6. Here it is, like we learned last time. Apply that again and see what foot we're acknowledging. That is the right one, I suppose. Right, align, right foot. I've seen they have some very cool ways of how they fix mocap footage that isn't quite fantastic. When you have a longer clip and you chop it up into portions like 2 or 3 where something happens with the foot alignment, and they use the same principle to basically correct it from things like the video mocap where it can be a little bit hit and miss. I thought that was very cool. Very neat. That goes into here, and that goes into here, and then as we walk from here to here, we're all good. Nice one. Line to right foot. Blend this away and that away. And my man keeps walking. Very nice. Oops. Maybe I'll do one more. Line right foot. Blend both ways, probably too much, but hey, it's all working fine. Yeah, I can tell that with this guy here, he's actually, my computer is struggling a little bit because he's much higher res than other guy. Where do I even change that here? Is that here somewhere? All shadows, normal, original. It's hard to say what HD level he's on. Very HD, I'd say. I think they probably do that with the library card, Nancy. That if the easiest way to do that would be to say you can only have a library card if you're 16 or over, or if you do have a library card and you want to use a computer, well, you just can't. I think that's how I would do it. It's a good question. I don't know either. I'll maybe call that. Maybe I'll save this as a project. Should I? I might not. I might just go and put it in here. So this one is going to be walk 5A loop. Two, yes, yeah. Subdivision 2 is the highest it can do. And iClone, I would imagine, can do the same. I think it can't do anything higher than that. But for things like the DAS imports, if you want to bring in something like HD4, you would bake it into normal map. So CC5 has an option for that, which is quite neat. So B then. There you go. B goes back in here. See if we can align multiple clips at once. I wonder. Oh, we probably can't because I can do this one, but the next clip would rely on this clip to actually work. So was it the right foot? I wasn't even looking. Was it the right foot? Yeah, it was the right foot. Good stuff. Just checking. Homeschool, that's it. Nancy, that's the way to go. Totally right. Oh, I did it again, didn't I? Now we're going to find out. Transition from here to here has worked. Transition from here to here. If I say align right foot, that does also work. Nice. Bit of blending either way. Perfect. Except for this is not so perfect. Let's go make it perfect. Good enough for me. This one was walk V5B looped. Oh, okay. Interesting. Well, they're really going in on the whole verification thing, isn't it? I don't think it might be like a little bit ahead of its time, but I have a feeling it's probably coming to the whole world. I would imagine so, yeah. I think like what we've all heard, that Discord are going to start doing it, even in countries where it's not quite necessary. It's the new world, man. It's the new world. Here, I don't think that was the right foot, was it? That was also the right foot. Yeah, the one with the left foot we didn't want to use. I remember now. I wonder if we're going to look back at this and think That was a cute attempt, wasn't it? I'm wondering. Yeah, I can guess that you can't, that, well, not just Microsoft. I think that's even going to Linux next, where they're saying that without you being verified, you're not even allowed to install any operating system. So it's not just Windows, but any operating system, which is a little bizarre, isn't it? That just leads to the fact that people will stay on older versions where that wasn't necessary, you know, that requirement. Like the proper Linux hackers, they always use these 2013 and before ThinkPads, because I think that was the last version of the Intel processor that didn't have the Intel management engine built in. Walk 5C loop. And that's why they like it. But they've never moved on because there've never been any replacements. Great. That was those. Now let's do 6. Where we only had 2 because the third one didn't look nice. Start with A. Well, there is that. No, you're right, actually. There is, of course, that. I'm already experiencing that. I've got some computers that are running older operating systems, like older Macs that I can't update anymore. And Firefox just about works still, but it's getting to a point. Was this the right foot? I think it was the right foot, wasn't it? That's the right foot. But it's getting to a point where it keeps telling me, hey, you know, soon this isn't going to work anymore. And what I've also noticed is that the websites we used to surf when those browsers were modern, websites load so much more stuff these days than they did back in the day. I mean, I remember I could surf some websites with my old iPad. That wasn't a problem. And today I can't even do that anymore. It basically just keeps loading and then keeps crashing because too much stuff is being requested. So the way websites worked back in the day is definitely different to how they operate today. Align right foot. And that was that. Ascania, good point. Yeah, it sounds a bit like that, isn't it? Because where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the line? At which point you say, look, how is schools without online access going to work? You know, how is schools without them having a Microsoft account work? What are they going to use then? Bizarre stuff. It's true. Walk V6. A looped. Keep kids safe from filing taxes. Yes, pray they never have to do that. Okay, 6B. What's your foot here? Is it also the right one? Yes, also the right one. Oh, that's easy for me to remember. Oh, was it that long? That's already almost 1,000, so maybe we don't need... How? Why? Who? What? Really? Why is that then? That's a little bizarre here. This one's much longer than all the other animations. Can that be possible? And it looks a bit brutal here. Let's go and move that together. It's just the meniscus operation walk. Okay, only 2 loops then. No worries. Walk V6B loop. Yes, I saw that, Nancy. That was hilarious, wasn't it? Yes, my heart bleeds for the poor people who've pushed AI coding on so many of their colleagues. Next thing you know, another meeting is necessary because, oh my god, how are we going to undo it? I wonder, this is probably what's going to be like in when AI properly takes off. Now we've given control to AI, we don't know how to reverse it. Or it won't be necessary because it's going to be better. Next thing you know, reverse it! How are we going to do it? It's just so hilarious. Okay, idle should be finished now. Idle. That's that. This is gonna have to... I'd love to also be able to set a default for this. Faster and more efficient, what can we say? That's what you made it to be. Faster and more efficient in a heartbeat. Of course it would be. So I think that means we're done with this. And we can go and close it down. Ray tracing my steps. And that also means while this is importing things, let's go and open that. Yes, absolutely. Let's do that. The moment it's open, I'll totally play it for you, Deviant. It looks really nice. I'm really excited how much stuff is possible with Unreal Engine and with this combination of animations and whatnot. Yeah, the only thing that doesn't work is the transfer, the automatic transfer from Unreal Engine from iClone to Unreal Engine. But that's in my project, so there's something amiss, unticked, cache file stale or something. And I haven't been able to figure it out. I could transfer into another project and then transfer from that project to my project, or I just do it manually. Manually is fine, so yeah, no worries, let's do it. Takes a second to load. I can also see that 5.7 is, it could also be the set, but I think 5.7 is taxing my computer much harder than 5.6 used to do. So up until here, my computer is happy, and from here onwards, it's a little rocky. It's in two parts, so I'll show you the exterior first. That's the one we're working on. In fact, let me show you this in... Should I show you this here or in Premiere? I might as well show you in Premiere because then you get to see the two parts working together. Let me go do that. Yes, it's two scenes, so they need to be rendered separately so that they come out. White flashes. I don't know why software wants to do that. Oh really? Block? They hate the tax return people? Really? What sub was that, Deviant? That's crazy. Ouch-a-roo. Oh, is that the Adobe? My god. Uncool, man. Alright, Deviant, are you ready? Are you ready? This is it. This is the current title sequence as it stands with the bicyclists animations in there. Here we go. Roll clip. Here we go. Yeah, so much more exciting than the previous version. And then we go in here, lots of people walking around. And then this is the inside, lots of people standing, ordering tickets. And here's people sitting, and then that's where things are happening. It's totally real life. Yes, let's watch it again. Let's watch it one more time because I like it as well. And it's a very nice upgrade because it still retains the character of the original one. So the theater thing is the same. But yeah, everything is just upgraded a notch. And that's all thanks to what we can do in Unreal Engine. Yes, and that filled with people is going to be really nice. Yeah, and here the lights are going to dim, so the interior we're going to do once the exterior is more or less done. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. It was quite a lot of work, and you know, there's always more to do. But yeah, this whole facade bit here, that was not part of the original, so I took that and put this room behind here. That was something that we did over the last few days, and then we added new textures to the whole facade. So that was, I think only the sign is really the one that's left from the original. Everything else is just the mesh and then re-UV mapped and re-textured, all in Substance Painter. So that was a ton of work. And then yeah, now we have the bicyclists, and I think the first thing I want to do here is get that. There's this one jump at the top where she's doing the wheelie, and I really don't like that anymore. I think I'm going to go and take that out because there's always been a little thorn in my eye. I thought it might be nice, but I think having changed my mind a little bit, these guys are fine. Yeah, this here, that shot. Yes, her doing that wheelie. Let's not have her do that because that's lame. It just isn't really working for me. And that's that animation blend. So I'm hoping we can retain the forward motion and just remove that out and that, and then just put that, duplicate that into here. That probably doesn't even need to, it's probably a clean loop here. And then this as well. Oh, so we may have to correct the forward motion then. Probably the easiest thing would be to just just grab that over here. We also need to have the height tweaked. Let's do the same for the height. Even if it's not 100%. Yeah, wheels are in there a bit, aren't they? And then from here it's probably okay again, so we'll just go add one correctional over here. Technically we might have to go and do another one. Okay. And this means it's fine. And he here at his wheels behave a little bit sort of similarly. Oh, I see. Here we didn't actually do a height pass. So I might just add that here. Add an additive pass. Whereas this one was motion. And this one is the height tweak. That's really nice to work this way because it's not strictly layers. It's just it sort of is layers, but it's just an additive track on there. That's kind of nice. So we'll put a keyframe here, at which we need to have you tweaked to that. And then we'll just follow your bike and see where we need to undo that most. We might not even have to. It might just be a linear from there to there. Yeah, I could even turn him around a little bit at this point. I think that bit I might just leave. We don't even see him until he comes into the final here, so I might do one more correctional between here. And then we have it. Yeah, this here, I'm thinking maybe just twist it around like this. And here we twist it the other way. I think we're gonna be fine here. There. And then we should be okay. And that now looks perfectly fine. He even slows down actually, but that's fine. Maybe he's just braking, so I'm okay with that. I just like this idea of there being lots of life, and let's continue with that now and see how we can put more people in here. So animations, I just need to transfer them, and then we can use some of the people that we already have walking, or we can also send them over with other animations. Maybe I'll do that. Let's do that. So, idle. I was just idle. We were gonna do stuff, didn't we? First of all, does that still work? Yes, there we go. Global adjustment still works. Might need to be a little more. Motion layer. The cool thing is also you can literally spend as much or as little time as you want on this. So since there's no deadline, there's always the big trap that it might just take me forever to do this. I'm thinking that's a nice idle for somebody who's just looking at the cinema there. Also ordering, I think that was one for ordering as well. This one was just somebody looking around. I might leave that as one clip, like pointing, looking, ordering something. And then in Unreal Engine I can just go and chop this up as much as I want. Now this one, oh, it might even be longer. This might be longer. It's one of those things. You're talking to me. Was that in project settings? Yes. Yes. Project settings. This was longer than what was. It might even be longer than that. Maybe 50,000. That should be okay. Oh, look at that. So it's all the way up to here. So that might be too long. That was the selfie taking. Ordering on phone, taking pictures. Taking selfies. Oh yeah, this is the waiting in line and moving forward. That was it. Yes, there was a lot in here. So this is all just waiting in line, I think. Whereas this was ordering. Yeah, I'll break that here. And then this can be one. This one was idle V1, let's call it A, I suppose. So much work. Okay, that is that. Then we can go and move this. Oh, we can't move that over here? Ah, how bad is that? Maybe it's okay if we just go and delete that. It looks like the adjustment is still in there, so I'm good with that. It sounds like my computer is struggling with something. It's just not quite telling me what with. I'll just close some stuff down. Maybe that'll help. Oh, we're back. We're back. Okay. No, we're not. There. Ding. Break that. Heavy usage of stuff software. Computer being mysterious. That's it. Exactly. He likes being mysterious. I've put those in here. I wanted to actually put this into a separate folder here, if I may. Folder, create. Subfolder. Idols v1. That goes in here. Yes. Good. Then that can go in here. I don't think I will, no. I think when it becomes sort of a $14.99 offering in 5 years' time, maybe even in 12 months' time, I may. It looks nice, but I don't think I'm not a big Resident Evil fan. How about you? You're thinking of getting it? It's all the rage right now. There's talk that Starfield might come to the PS5. Nah, yeah, same here. It looks very nice, yes, absolutely. It's also the other thing about those types of games is new means bug fixes for the next 6 months. At least it had a good reception. That is already worth so much more than being, totally buried. Like what can so easily happen these days. AAA titles get released. Next thing you know, nobody's happy. My computer's really struggling with this animation. I don't know why. Maybe I should just go and open a new project here. Oh, this is like walking away type animations. I might go and chop that up later and just go and leave that as a thing, and then give iClone a rest so I can restart it. Yes, I heard that too. Sony, I guess it sounds like maybe Sony sort of tried it with some of their existing titles and then thought, well, maybe it wasn't the incredible moneymaker that we thought it was going to be, and they just, stopped doing it. But then, Idols v1, see? You're right, Ascania, you're so right. I finally have hardware that can play games from 10 years ago really well. Why ruin that relationship, right? Plus, there's so much I haven't played. I have literally, if games would stop coming out as of today, I would have so much in my library that I haven't even looked at. Buddy, pull yourself together, man. It's a normal day at the office. The computer's totally overloaded here. I don't know why. There's no such thing as AAA anymore. Yes, it's totally slowly dying, isn't it? Please wait. Okay, we're waiting. It could also be Unreal Engine's fault. What I tend to do is do that. Control R. No real-time dip-dops here. That means everyone can use the GPU, while Unreal Engine doesn't have to draw 4,000 frames a second while I'm not actually doing anything with it. So it's true. 80%, if that. And also the amount of failures that were there, the amount of time devs give their games now. You know, 30 days, it wasn't successful, let's pull the plug, that's it, sorry, we can't even afford to keep the lights on here anymore. Release, fire everyone, and then do we have cash flow? No, pull the plug instantly. Also, PS, live service games are not successful. Nobody wants live service games. I think the people who play live service games, they have their favorites. They, you know, the Call of Duties and the Fortnites and all that, they play those games for particular reasons, to meet friends, to whatever. They're in that system. Don't try to encroach on that. I don't think you're going to be that successful. Or if you really, really want to be, you got to have such deep pockets and time to let this happen. Oops, that was totally the wrong button. I meant to press this, not character creator. It's true. It's true. Meanwhile, the Claire Obscures come out of the woodwork and say, we're doing this with a team of 10 people and then clean up. That is pretty cool as well. I like those types of stories. Or the sort of, you know, Stardew Valley type stories. That is pretty neat, isn't it? Just clean up. Do something as a passion project. It doesn't cost billions of dollars. It'll always take 3 to 5 years to make. I think there's no way around that at the moment. But all of a sudden, that's bad enough. Imagine you make a game with a small team of people and it takes you 3 years. How's anyone going to earn any money? If you have that amount of funding for 10 people, that's something much more achievable than that for 500 people. And then it isn't even successful. So yeah. It's when shareholders get involved. It's always like that. When they see this as a money investment opportunity, which it isn't, you know. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, character creator. I didn't even mean to open you there. Have they? Ooh. Oh, sorry, yes, Unreal has, yes, good point, yes, as part of it. iClone, what's going down? Yeah, debug. As if that's gonna make any sense to me. Debug. Yes, it would be really easy, or I suppose faster, if I could do this just with a single click. But alas, we cannot. Let's see who we would like to have as our stand-in. Maybe this guy here, Business M17. He can probably be, he might be the guy who's going to be the default walker, and then we're going to replace his mesh. But yeah, he's nice. You're going to be our walking guy. Because I think all the cranky animations are going to look great on you. For the female animations, I might not use my own mocaps. I might just use canned stuff. But yeah, Claire Obscure, I haven't even played that yet either. And that's already on sale, so I'd much rather explore that. There's another one I'm interested in, Eric's Home, if you've heard of that. It's sort of a stealth game, also made in Unreal Engine. I'd like to have a look at that. There's one that's just come out as a demo, I think, Will Follow the Light. Hey, iClone, not working anymore. What's going down? Well, I might just use Character Creator for exporting, because iClone's a one-off, it's a one-shot program. I was thinking it was a little pernickety there. So I'll just import my animations into Character Creator and export them from there. We'll do that way. It's cool. See if I can start this. Yeah, the one thing I wish Epic would do, and sadly they don't really offer that, unless you're a team of 500 people with the budget of, you know, twice the amount of the US GDP, is support. Like if they work with people like CD Projekt Red, but it's because it's a mutually beneficial relationship. They need help and Epic benefit from their expertise. But if I need help, Epic really don't want to know, you know. It's a shame. Even though I would be at a point where I'd say I'm happy to pay for it, they don't really want to do that, which is a shame. That's true. Yes, I saw that as well. They're basically, what they're doing is raising the prices of the V-Bucks. So Fortnite is free to play as it always was, but if you elect to pay, you get less value for your money now. So the Battle Pass was always something that cost 950 V-Bucks, which is about £10, so $9.50 basically, $10 rather than pounds. But if you play the whole Battle Pass through, you always get V-Bucks as a reward. So by the time you're done with the Battle Pass, you got all your money back. So that was kind of nice. They don't really ever make money on that. So they've taken that away. So you pay for the Battle Pass and you get all the outfits, but you don't get V-Bucks anymore. And then the other thing is, if you buy, I don't know, 2,700 V-Bucks, that's not going to cost you $27 anymore. It's now going to cost you, I don't know, 35 or so. So you get less V-Bucks for your real bucks, so to say, which is a shame. What did I say his name was? He was called Business M17. Let's find the same guy. Anything 17 under actor. Well, there's maybe not 17, but something that includes 17. Oh, that's in template, isn't it? Duh. Something in here. Business people. 17 you, indeed. And that is exactly how it's spelled. Is that something that you use in the American language, Fortnite? I mean, not as the game, but as the term of 2 weeks. That's what it means in Britain. If you have something like, it was a fortnight ago, it's basically 2 weeks ago. Is that something you guys use in the US? Now we go to custom. Now we go to animation. You do have it in Australia? Cool, okay. That's good to know. Rokoko breakouts, here we are. Nice one. Let's start with walks 5. And we want the looped versions here, so 5. It's not consistently named, Jay. I'm very disappointed in you. There, what a difference a space makes, huh? Walk 5 a loop. That should work on him. Not so much in Canada, okay. You're aware of it. Of course, yes. Thanks to Coronation Street. He's so far away that he's actually not in the light anymore here. Very interesting. Isn't there an auxiliary light thing that I can enable here? I'm sure it's some convoluted icon. Auxiliary light. Could it be this? GI voxels? No, that's not what it is. That's not it. Maybe I dreamt it. It's fine. Okay, good to know. Sounds archaic. Well, it is archaic, isn't it? This is auxiliary light. There we go. I knew it was here somewhere. The light button. Okay, so file, export, FBX closed character, UE, I can't remember now. I think it was 5 skeleton, wasn't it? Business guy. Ah. Did he have a 4 or 5 skeleton now? Man, I don't even remember. What was your animation? Let's deduce it from that. Because if it is the bicycle ride... No, it isn't. It's him. Perfect. He's already got that. Awesome stuff. So he's UE5 then. He's UE5. Good, good. Embed textures you don't have to in this case. Mesh and motions. Really only the motion that we're interested in. The current animation. Frame rate, well, ideally use 60. Let's see if that works. Crimson Desert. No, I haven't heard of that. I'll just call this one CC Motions, and this one's going to be Walks V5. And Walk V5A. And we know it's looped, so we don't have to put that on anymore. Fingers crossed, this could go horribly wrong. Let's hope it doesn't. And let's try the B loop. Cranky Man Animations. I think that's going to be the product title. Cranky Man Animations. Export the same thing. He's remembered. Current animation, all. Yeah, all is what we want. We're fine. Walk V5B. It put motion on the end. It's fine. I'm okay with that. Yeah, let's do these 3, then we import them and see if it works. That was it. You've done it. Nice one. Walk 5C loop. Yeah, cranky. I love it. I think exporting just the motion is much faster. Walk V5C. Meanwhile, we're going in here and let's just put it all into his motion directory here, I'm thinking. Or in fact, let's be professional about this. Walks V5. Then we keep it a little separate here. Okay. If only I knew where. Oh, it's one up, isn't it? In exports. This is CC Motions. Yes. Walks with yes. A. Okay. This was a little tricky. I think we tried this last time, and the idea was I pick the skeleton here that we want to use. So in his case, it's number 14 here. Oh, come on, really? 17 even, sorry, 17. And that was it. And we don't import the mesh. I think that was it. But we do want to import the animations. And there was something like animated time. And import. I think that was it. I think. This is good, 35,000 total keyframes rather than 57,000 like what we had last time. This is exciting. While it's doing that, I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. I will be right back. Don't go anywhere. We're back, we're back. How exciting. Looks like the motion has worked. Ooh, ah. Where you at, buddy? There you are. My man, look at that. Motioning around. That's exactly the kind of walk we had in mind. Look at that. This is perfect. So that really didn't take all that long. The long thing is what takes so much time is the whole. So I still put some spurious frames on the end here. That is not something I had exported. So that's something that maybe CC did there. Let's chop them off. Ding, perfect. So that import was much faster, I guess, because the mesh and the textures don't need to be set up. So very, very cool. I love it. The Photoshop beta for the rotate thing. Oh, amazing, isn't it? I love it. It's, yeah, I don't totally understand it's a beta. I've tried it out and I'm super impressed. So is my boss. Maybe we can use it for our project. Sometimes when they've only got somebody whom they've shot from the back, but not from the front. In fact, let's try it out. If you, Brian, you might be interested in that. I'm totally going to make a proper video about this, but let's just say this is a good example here. Let's say we have this guy. Oops. Let's just say we have this guy here, and it's not a fantastic image. I totally grant you that, but imagine that's what we have. Let me just go and do a screenshot here, and this is it here. Photoshop beta. They've got a new thing. I don't know if you've heard of it in Illustrator. They've had that in the beta for a while. It's something called turntable. It's a thing where you have a vector drawn little image and you only have one view of it, and then you go and click rotate, and then you can literally, the AI infers what it might look like from other sides, and you can just rotate it around and have a look at it. It's quite phenomenal here. Let me go make a new file and do clipboard. Yes, I do clipboard. You're using it right now. Perfect. That does that as well. I mean, it's so cool. And having that right inside of Photoshop is pretty exciting. So remove background first of all, which is neat with a one click, so you don't have to draw out a mask anymore and whatnot. I'll just go and drop that in here and make a solid color background. Something, I don't know, dark and blue, slightly desaturated. It looks a little bit not like totally awful. Maybe a little lighter. And in Photoshop, they've done it literally with one click. So this is it here. Transform image. And I bet rotate object. And I bet they're gonna expand that to video eventually as well, because I do remember that when we got image expand in Photoshop, eventually we also got it into Premiere and in After Effects, so you can have a moving footage that you want extended. That's quite exciting. This is low res here right now, but you know, it's just a preview, and then you go and rotate him around. Isn't that incredible? So you can literally, I mean, he was clearly a 2D image, and he's got proper jeans pocket on the back, and you know what his jumper would actually be looking like on the bag. I find that insane. And then you can look from the top and literally just match him, make sure you match that perspective. Very exciting. That's one other thing you can do here is the perspective. So if you had shot him with a different focal length, you can go and blend that in or out depending what the background looks like. We don't really have a background here, but you know, if we needed a sort of a back shot, I've screwed him up a little bit here. And we say done, and then it goes and brings the high res detail back. And you notice these white little outlines here. That's just something, it can remove that as well. So it's something called the harmonize feature, and it looks at your background and blends in the lighting. So it's quite impressive. It's a little rudimentary right now, and it doesn't blend in with whatever background I have. It's just a flat color here right now. But if I click harmonize, then it goes and makes another layer here on the top and gives me a few variations. And that's now a composited thing. And it usually looks much better, or I think that's the plan when this thing hits. Like that. So now it blends in more with what the background would look like. And you've got a few variations here, but you also have an option if you think, well, this is sort of there, this is better than that, but I still prefer my original. This is just a layer, so you can go and blend the original back, or you can just leave it as it is. So I find that that's just pretty insane. If we compare it with what the guy actually looks like from the side, it's of course not quite the same, but it's done a pretty good job to infer that from a 2D picture. I have to say, I'm excited about this. This is AI that I'm actually excited about, when it's something where you can see, yeah, that actually makes sense. If you need say you only, like in our project, that's a good example. We have these rotoscoped actors, but they were only shot from one angle. And if you ever needed a back shot or a slightly side shot of somebody, we just don't have that. And that was 6 to 8 years ago when they recorded that footage, so the actors can't come back. So how do you solve it? You could solve it with this, and we'll see if we want to do that. I mean, for things like a back shot that you see close to the camera, that you see somebody's shoulder or something, would be perfect for that. So we'll see if that's gonna help. But yeah, totally wild. I think so too. Really wild. And it costs you credits. I don't know how much, but it costs you some credits doing that. So while that can import stuff, we can export more stuff from over there, right? Let's go with B here. Once again on business 17. And without the mesh as animated time. Import. All right. Yeah, Brian, as you learn stuff with Comfy, we all appreciate videos of stuff that of things that you figure out. I'm not into this scene at all. So even if it's just some basic this is what you can do, rather than going into detail of how you actually do it. That would really help me just to understand what the hell is it all about, because I only installed the comfy version that came with Character Creator so that I can do the fashion gen thing. But other than that, I just have literally no idea how anything works. That was C. Let's go to 6. 6, we have a loop. I never thought I'd actually enjoy Character Creator as much as I am. Truth be told, it can do so many cool things, and I'm finding new uses for it time and time again. It's quite exciting, I have to say. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with Character Creator. Okay, let's call this one Walks V6. Walk V6. That was A, and this one is B. AKA the meniscus walk. I'll have to see what I do about facial expressions. I think these guys can do it. I'll have to see if I have to bake that in or add that separately. I might be able to do that separately. All these guys, I think they have some facial morphs, so I can go and dial those up in UE if we do ever see one of these guys close up. I don't think we do. They only ever, oh look at that, I've forgotten to put this to 60 here. Maybe 30 will have worked. Let's go all in 30. I don't think it matters. Walk V6B. It's all over my head, Deviant. It's just it's the whole noding things together and installing models. I'm more of a menu click and drag type guy. I totally admit that. I don't think I'll ever look into that. But I'm glad to hear that you guys are having fun with it. That's really cool. Motion C. I think I have installed, what was it called? Stable Diffusion. When that came out, when I was still on my 2080 cards, I did try that. And then I upgraded to 3090. And I was sort of appalled to see that 24 gig of VRAM would net me an 800 by 800 picture. And at that point I gave up, and I thought I don't think that's for me. I'm glad to hear it. I think this is what we mustn't forget with all these tools here. As long as it's fun, you roll with it. The moment it stops being fun, I think it's also time to move away. But yeah, if it's fun, that's what it's all about. Come on, buddy. Wonder what +3 means. The star means it's not quite saved yet. Oh, there we go. Now turn into a star. Nice one. Control-Shift-S will save it. See how they all came out here. Hello, buddy. How's it going? Oh, also. Dude, no. Whatever that does, let's not do it. And he also has extended what's it footage on here on the back. I don't know why. Why do they do that? 5,000 extra keyframes no one's asked for. Do you know, even better when you get it to do what you want and it doesn't cost you as much as the AI guys charge you. That is really cool. If you can do that, that's just amazing. If you can say, hey, I've just figured out something that works exactly like the Adobe tool here, but I don't have to pay 10 bucks for or 20 bucks for Photoshop anymore. That's really cool. Cranky Man animations, I can see it now. It's going to be a big hit. Oh, so this one was the correct duration. Interesting. Yeah, this is one thing as much as I do like Reallusion products, this is something I dislike. The seeming randomness. What worked now doesn't work next time. Who knows why? There's probably an explanation somewhere in Taiwan, but you know, who knows? I'm getting too old for this. Walks V6, everybody. Better register that company name right now. Oops, hello. What's happened here? God knows. Did I say something bad about Reallusion characters? Who knows what that was? I can imagine, Brian. You're taxing them beyond anything they were ever designed for. Also, remember, you're not supposed to do anything locally. You're supposed to do it all in the cloud. Very important. Let's not forget. That's what they're all working on. Do nothing local. Hire in the cloud. Pay twice, at least. And that's my man number 17. No mesh. Import. All right. While you deal with that, we deal with the idols. It's funny, isn't it? We've been through this trough of shortage of AI or shortage of GPUs, and now we're there again. It's quite interesting, isn't it? Even though the 50s are there's nothing higher coming out for the foreseeable future, but they're still in super short supply. And even if you wanted to upgrade, Brian, what you gonna upgrade to? How could you do it? Like a 4090 costs $2,000, 5090 costs $3,000 and higher up, and you think, yeah, well, what's going down, right? I think we're okay with 30 frames a second. Current animation. Maybe all is the way to go. What is custom? I wonder if I can use multiple animations here. Is that what it's supposed to do? Open file, load perform. Oh, these are the RL motions, huh? Interesting. Let me try that. Maybe I can do all the idols together. That would be sort of neat. I never thought about that. If only I knew it was here, wasn't it? Actually, those were not the RL motion files. Okay, fine. Let's have a look where that is. I'm sort of looking for something like reveal in like, where the hell is it? Would it not tell me that? Where a folder actually is? Or just tell me where this file lives? Find file, that's the one. That's the one. Yes, exactly, because that gets us to the RL motions here. Maybe that works. Who knows? Really? Would that work? I mean, let's try it out. But now it gives it one file name. That can't be right. That can't be right. Sorry, that's I'm already thinking what the. Let's not do that. Let's do this. That makes much more sense to me. Idols v1a. Oh, I see. I don't think I saw those. Yeah, I didn't watch those webinars, Leo. Oh, interesting. Yeah, of course. They would say, of course, you connect to our cloud, you use your credits, you pay us for that. Yeah, I can see the disappointment. This one was B, actually. I just realized, not A after all. That wasn't even this. Motions, idols. This was actually B. I just made that fatal mistake, like. This one is A. Oh, and it contains the A port still, okay. That's fine as well. We're good with that. Cranky Man Idols, good. Yes, I'm looking forward to my new gloves when they arrive. See how they perform with the coil. And also how good they are against the version 1 gloves. Because if they're no good, I'm going to send them back. Tell me, Leo, do you use that, the AI rendering? Because I find that actually a cool idea for somebody who doesn't want to deal with all the stringing together nodes overhead and learning 50 trillion new things. They really just want to press a button and go, oh, look, that render looks sort of, cool. And we use the viewport to guide the AI. I find that I think that's a good idea. Are you using that? Is it working? Do you know, a good question, Leo? It's something I'm looking into. Ideally, they can do that under perfect conditions, but I either don't have the conditions, or they're selling us something that doesn't fundamentally work. So I've seen demos I've seen demos from Rokoko that people playing drums where the sticks get properly translated works fine. Anything with handling props is super accurately tracked. Of course, when I try it doesn't work. So, but that's also what else is new. Also adds the motion on there, no matter if it's already on there or not. So we'll do that. See there. So the problem currently is that the coil came out after the gloves version 1 came out, and they realized they needed better technology to marry the two things up. So they came up with the gloves number 2, and they are now supposed to work really well. The capture radius was very tiny. The coil is sort of a cube the size of my head, basically, and you've got to be within 50 centimeters of that, but also not too close to it. So you have like a 20 centimeter radius in which it sort of works. The moment you deviate from that, it all goes and screws it up. If you add the suit to it, the suit doesn't get tracked by the coil, only the gloves do. So it translates where your body is depending on where your hands are. And if it gets that wrong, your body looks like a, just a wrung out wet towel. And it didn't have the greatest reception, so we're hoping that the new gloves will be much more capable. Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's almost like, and this is actually what it's called, it's a beta, and it's nice that they're thinking in that direction, and that eventually perhaps it gets expanded into something that's easier to use, faster, with better results. Cool that it doesn't cost anything. That I like. Aside from if you wanted to use their cloud to get it rendered. But local rendering is possible, right, Leo? I think it is possible. Right. Yeah, I've seen people do it even from Dash Studio with something, I have no idea what these things are called, but it's something that watches your viewport and then grabs that image and just live does data stuffs or whatnot. Oops. And I can really see that as the way forward, rather than having, I think this is something that I just don't like, having to describe everything with some text prompt, even though I don't know what the machine wants to hear, you know? That's just odd. It's just as odd as having to paste like a phone book size paragraph in there so that it just works at all, and I just append the word woman, and then it's sort of, that's like not for me, not at all. So I'm thinking something where you can do some sort of what we're doing right now and give that to the AI without having to put that into, you know, a text description, and that would work for me much better. It would just work so much better. It would be actually good to do a combined 3D and gaming stream. Like, have this import stuff and then go play Stardew Valley for 5 minutes and then come back to this. That would work. Because sadly I can't do anything else with Unreal Engine while it's doing this. We're sort of done with our idols here, aren't we? I think. I'm gonna go and take some of those and put him around and just have him as a placeholder character so that we can see where we want walkers and how that would look like. And then we can call it a day. And then, of course, tomorrow, Brian is going to play more Stray at 10 in the morning. Ooh, looking forward to that. I might just import this one idle for now and do the others off stream because 57,000 keyframes does take quite a while to process. And I do want to get some visual bits and pieces done today. Buddy, come on. There we go. Perfect. All right. Idle, we can have that to for him to stand around a bit. So number 17. I think you can be part of our testing collection. There. Then it makes it easy for him to get dragged in regardless of where he is. Well, it's definitely going to be people walking up and down here and idling around here too. Okay, so shot one, I think we might do that one a little later. Like the back here. I think maybe just one guy walking away from the camera here. I think that's precisely what we need. Let's go and drag you in here, buddy. We're not sure if that direction is going to be retained here, but it'll be... I'll make you spawnable in here, in that shot. And let's pick one of the walks here, 5A. I think that sounds like a good idea. 5A. So his direction and location is a little wrong, but that's cool. We can deal with that. Oh, his looks like his origin point is also not perfect. We know where the camera is. I could have probably corrected that. That would have been really cool. But hey, where's the fun in that, huh? I can also make it give this a temporary... temporary origin point. So that's already pretty cool, right? Super neat. Don't even have to be vast amounts of people in here. It's just something we just suggest. We just suggest the idea of life down here. As we will over here. I think while we're in this shot, let's go do that. My goodness, that was easy, wasn't it? Sometimes with animation, it's all about the prep work. And then once you've got it, so he's going to come from the other direction here, from like this here. And you're of course not called M15 and M17. That could be walk 5B perhaps. There you are, buddy. It's the same cranky walk animation. That already looks pretty neat, doesn't it? Fantastic. So extra credit, we're going to turn these guys into spawnables. So that means as I'm on this shot, much like the bicyclists here, some of them, they're actually in here. She's not running them over, is she? No, perfect. Spawnable means that while this track is live, they exist, and the moment I move outside to the next shot, they all disappear. Like here, if I go to this, he's no longer there. So that really helps me out because, first of all, it's good for memory management, but it's also good because in case I shoot that scene and he's in a position where he's not supposed to be, Gonski. Next shot then is this. Yeah, so I think this would be pretty neat to have somebody maybe standing here. I can put an idle guy here, and there could be an idle guy who's looking over here. Maybe that's a nicer idea. Have somebody who's just standing here looking over there. That might be neat. Put you right here. And I'm thinking there might also be somebody walking here. Yeah, maybe somebody walking from here to there. Let's just copy you. And you will just walk over there, perhaps even out of shot. That's nice. Let's do that. Perfect. So that's in this shot here. Bike riders. And then we'll replace them with different people later. Did we not have an idle there? Idle, that's the one. This was a long animation, so that could be a good snippet here. Yes, because over there, that's the cinema, isn't it? Yes, absolutely. Do that a bit quicker here, buddy. Pointing over there. Yes, that's the one. Exactly. That's the cinema. We're totally going to go to see it. I like it. And then we have this guy here. Isolate, so we don't have to see all the other bits and pieces. Maybe was there 5C? Yeah, those pivot points, that is a wee bit frustrating. But hey, something else learned. Maybe next time I will go and correct that, at least for the beginning of the animation. This is one where we may have to go and tweak the height again of him walking. Oops. Buddy, where are you? There you go. Perfect. So, hello? Why does my man keep disappearing? What's going down? Yes, that is weird, isn't it? Bizarre. Let's lock in your transform here to that, and then as you walk, we may just give you one correctional when you're over here. It works. It's very nice, I have to say. It just adds so much life, doesn't it? Okay, spawnable on these guys here. Then we don't have to worry about it anymore. Spawnable, check. And then our next shot, it does, doesn't it? And I think, I know the prep work takes forever, but once you have it like this, it's really easy to just put these things in and build the scene. Yeah, the only thing I wish I had done differently is the pivot points, but that's something I can look into. Like here as well, now we need people sitting. Of course, there's going to be lots of people sitting here. I don't know if I'm going to mocap that or if I just use canned animations for that. What we can do here, if the bidirectional thing between iClone and this project would work, I could literally go and take this chair here and send that with the table, let's say these things here, send that over to iClone, put my people right in here as proxy meshes and just send the animations of the people back. That's ideally how I'd like to do it. So I may have to just go and migrate this project into a fresh one with a fresh set of the Reallusion plugin, because otherwise it'll be difficult for me to do that. So I'll find a workaround, but ideally that's how I'd like to do it, and then I don't have to position them in Unreal Engine at all. I would literally just use the default position and they would be where they need to be, and this would be an ideal scene for that. So have a couple of people here, have a couple of people there, and then of course we have somebody walking down the road. Maybe somebody comes towards us this time. That could be keep people in the back. That is also a sweet idea. Let's do that. Let's have two people. One guy is at the very back here, facing us, and then the same guy is over here. And that's in this shot. These two guys add to that, isolate people, and then this guy, maybe he gets the one from the motion pack number 6, as I like to call it. Oh, and then the other thing I really like is these shortcuts that let you move objects around with Unreal Engine. I mean, if the pivot point was in the correct position, that'd be really cool. But even with its crooked form, it still works. Yeah, height correction we don't have to do because we're framing out his feet the moment we reach this. Then this guy, we could potentially just use the same animation. I don't think anyone's going to notice. Or maybe we'll use number 6. 6B rather. What's important is he's walking differently. Like a drunk. I don't know what's happening with this here, with why the... It could be that my project is screwed up. I've never seen that before. Don't know what that is all about. Yeah, we're good with that. Should give these guys at least one keyframe and have them spawnable. It just becomes so much livelier, doesn't it? That is so neat. So we'll do the same thing here on this shot. We don't have any bicyclists here, but I think maybe there's at least somebody who's pointing again, like an idle guy, and then somebody who's walking towards us and one walking away perhaps. And then here the same thing. I think for this I can probably animate them all in a different track here and keep them going, because they can be spawned not from the shots, because they're all sort of cohesive, these shots. I'll go and animate them as a longer piece, I think. Let's do that. Let's make a new subsequence for that. I'll just call that external walkers. Drag that down here. Make sure these guys can start somewhere here. So just a short sequence here. 30 is fine. And I might start with this shot as a guide. So basically then this guy here, we're going to replicate him and him. So he would have stood somewhere here and the other guy would be sort of here. They're far enough away. Put you in here, and then this guy. Mr. Nate is here. How's it going? How's it going? And a bottle of rum. Yes, exactly. How is this fine, happy Saturday treating you, sir? And the man is not quite walking in a straight line here. Where even is he? Should you not be in the other shot as well? I cannot quite see you. So maybe just to make that work a little easier, we'll have him here. And we're going to have other people closer by. So this guy is basically out of shot at that moment. Fine with me. we have this guy. Oh, him here. He can do that. And we barely see him, but I think it's important that there's somebody else just in the distance here. And there's going to be also more people in the center of the cinema here, I'm thinking, as we get closer. Yeah, this is going to be just fine. Better than yesterday. That's good. That's good. I'm doing good. It's rare these days that I'm in the mood for more work at the weekends, but I was, so you know. I'll put these guys into a folder and call them here far people. And these are going to be for the closer people. So we'll build this around people going in. There's going to be somebody sitting in here, I'm thinking. A couple looking at the outside and stuff like that. So this guy, he should be sort of on his way in here when we cut to this. So that means he would be walking towards it in these two shots. So if you're here at this point, are you walking in, super excited? Yeah, that's except for here. Because where would he have come from? So that maybe from his car, potentially. Perhaps he's just coming from his car and he's walking to the, yeah, that might work. Maybe he's coming from the little boat. That's possible. Not bad at all. Yeah, so now, just on this shot here, we need these two people from either side. And of course, they're going to be different people later. You... Perfect. If we didn't want to see him further in the back, actually maybe we could even, there's this other guy here, the far person here. This guy, I'm thinking now, perhaps I want to have him further over here now. Because we have another guy almost in that same spot. Great, now you of course are also super interested in going here. If only I knew where you had gone. Oh, here. See if it makes sense for him to. That is pretty neat, isn't it? And then he disappears. Why does he disappear? That's totally not on. Where are you going, buddy? Where do you think you're going? Well, hey, not bad. I'll see if I can capture some more mocaps that are not drunk or cranky people. I might do that outdoors when there's a bit more room. So they might look a little livelier, younger, you know. Oh yeah, I was gonna go and make these guys spawnable. Spawnable, alright. I'll put them in a folder here. Or close entrance, let's call it that. All right, let's see what we have. There's people here, people cycling, people pointing, looking, and there's people sitting on the sides. And that's just so many people congregating to the movies. That isn't bad, is it? That is not bad at all. For something that only took us 5 days to make. Do you know, I can even see something in the, when we see this shot here, there should be, one of these boats should be traveling downstream. I think that might be nice. Like something like this one here. With the sheep on it. I think maybe that's the way to go. Like this one here, I can totally duplicate that. That could be the board with the guy who's just going to the cinema. That's a possibility. We could just go on more there. It's -12. Dang, Nate. Dang, brother, that's cold. Quite literally. So this is only for insiders who've seen the animation from Venice, where there's a sheep in it. Okay, we're going to put that one here outside that radius, and then that boat's just going to go travel downstream. Should I switch to world coordinates? That means I don't have to worry about it going down here somewhere. I'll drag this out beyond it so that it's already in motion as we see this. Nice little boat, adding a bit of life there. Very nice. Now, of course, I want to add a second boat going the other way, or maybe just coming down from underneath here. maybe the blue one instead. Oh yeah, so at that point it would have already had to go here, I'm thinking. That goes here, transform here, so you're basically going to end, sort of here, and then you're going to start sort of here, and then we'll move that out a bit to here and to there, and then we have another boat, and we'll put people on there or sheep or both. That is a lot of life added to the scene already, I have to say. Oh, I forgot to make those spawnable here. Let's just do that. Both boats. Spawnable. Okay. Rubber boats. Would a wake on the water be a Niagara effect? It's possibly a material effect. I'm not entirely sure. I don't think it's a Niagara effect. I think it's probably world position offset, I'm thinking. Because all the boats have that. And when I move them, they seem to replicate that. It's a good question. Let's have a quick look. If it is world position offset, I can probably tell you. It's wind direction, yeah. So that's it. If I go, I'll go and toggle these off or play with these parameters here. And then we'll see if that works. I should really, you know what, before I do that, because it works just so well, I'm going to go and make just for this boat here, I'm going to go and make a duplicate. Control D. I'll call it boat test, and then that boat gets the test instance, and that means if I mess with it, namely these colors here, we don't destroy what's quite nicely working. So I'm going to go and do the movement direction first. Does that do anything? Yes, it looks like I can adjust the up and down movement just with a color value basically, and then the wind direction is the same thing. Yeah, so it is a material effect. The reason why they do that is because it's extremely cheap to render, much cheaper than doing anything real. And then you've got like this lerp function that just uses a little bit of noise or color variation. Crazy, isn't it? Oh really? Oh, how exciting. Yeah, so as I go and move the color around, that's what happens to the board. And then the other one is movement direction here. You can literally go up and down depending on what color you dial in there. It's not so much a color, it's just a data value really. It's just a vector 3. And they're probably going to do some fancy things with it. It's actually, the foliage is the parent material here. And this parameter here, world position offset, that is what does that. If you disconnect that, then it'll stop, I think. Just want to make sure we know where it comes from. Yeah, this one here. So let me go and disconnect that pin and compile it. And then we should see that all the boats are now, probably also all the trees are now completely static. Yep, there we go. Yeah, so it's a material effect. Crazy stuff. And just by reconnecting that, and applying and saving it, it should all be back. And if it isn't, well, then I've just ruined my project. But let's hope it is. We're back. Perfect. Yeah, good to talk about these things and check them out, because it's just things that might puzzle you when you start working with Unreal Engine. You think, well, how is this moving? Well, who animates this? So here, this is our final project then. I'm not going to go and render it out, but as a little preview, I think this is pretty neat. And it can't do the, it might have some frame rate issues as it goes and spawns and unspawns these guys. I don't know what's happening with him, why we don't see him. But look at that, this is quite cool. I might actually need that static material instance for that blue boat. That's a little bit too rocky, so I might have to go and tweak that parameter. But we'll come to that when, you know, when we come to it. Yeah, like that blue boat, I think that moves a little because I'm animating the position. So I can override a value that it doesn't take on the world position offset from anywhere else. That's what we've made. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This was quite a tough session. I'm gonna stop it here. I'll be back with Brian, of course, on the Stray stream, and I might even be back in the afternoon. I don't know yet. I might just chill out Sunday afternoon. But what I will be back for is more of this on Monday at 5 p.m. So thanks for being here. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.